Yes, we'll be back from the break. Still watching Smart Beans Business. I'm Andrew Bariji here with Masu Katumi. And it's exactly 8 a.m. And we're still driving you all the way. Well, at this time, as we head into our inspirational moment, still love to remind you that the Back to the Zabo platform are going to be on anytime from now, just about 15 minutes left. And to participate, it's quite simple. You dial *292# which is the user stick code to avail with options for you to participate in them. Now, Zabo made this a reality for you. 15,000 Ugandan shillings, but of course you can still choose to invest more. But Zabo says, well, come on 15,000 Ugandan shillings and we grow together, and life will be made much more easy and friendly. And regardless of where you're located, you can actually still be a part of this market, and regardless of what phone you're holding, you can still be a part of this market. That's why Zabo says, my money, my future, and Alta East Africa tells you, you gotta do something new for yourself. Now let's get straight into our business tips and quotes. Yeah, Thomas Jefferson says he believes in luck, but the harder he works, he believes actually the more he gets it. Thomas Jefferson, I think, is one of the founder fathers of the U.S. One of the great people way back in time. And I believe in such people because they really laid down a foundation for a nation that everybody admires still today. So whatever tip, whatever quotes that they put really out there, they come in from that place of experience. What did they really go through as a result of where they reached?
Well, of course, I must, if you're a believer, that means you can achieve anything.
Yeah.
Like the song Monji, but if you believe, you can achieve anything.
Hey, by the way, I remember that song was good. Oh my goodness, I should go listen to.
I think
If you believe, it was called If You Believe,
yeah,
You Can Do Something. Oh my goodness. It was a great song.
Yeah, that's one of the songs of Monji I love.
I talked about a rapper. I love the story of a rapper. I talked about a rapper who started writing his lyrics on the candles.
Yeah, it's all good. That's how everyone starts,
Yeah.
It starts a little bit of faith. It becomes an explosion. You don't know how much that matchbox can light up a whole forest. That one lighter
Can light up a whole forest.
Yeah, can light up the whole forest. But anyway, just because we're getting into the weekend, I want you to loosen up a bit.
Yeah.
We have to do one of the scariest things. What is the one thing that you're scared about?
Scared about?
To do, really.
To
what
do?
What is the one thing that you feel like it gives my heart?
By the way, do you know sometimes realizing some of these aspects, if somebody told you what's your worst fear, it may not be an easy answer to get done because probably you've never taken time to think about it. Okay, probably me personally, what I fear most is when I don't because I remember when I was at a very young age, there is a dream of myself ahead of me, and my worst fear is not achieving it, and that is which breeds what we call frustrated potential. Of course, I won't talk the dream out for personal reasons, but the thing is, I mean, the fear that probably I want to, at some point, maybe if I don't live to that expectation, I think that's my worst fear.
Yeah.
Actually, my worst fear is living a life of less purpose.
Yeah.
Without having purpose.
I think my fear would be me reaching at a point where I cannot be able to, if I ever got a family, being in a position where I cannot be able to provide.
To provide.
That is my greatest fear, because me naturally, I like giving, I like seeing people happy. So
yeah.
I feel like me being, even just having less money on me just gives me the shivers.
The shivers. You're not used to that.
Yeah, it just gives me the shivers, but then that's the scariest thing. I feel like having no money on me, having, you know, if I have a family, my kids' expectations of me as a mother, what am I going to say? What am I going to tell them? You know, so I must, you know, I'll be working hard, scratching my head. You know, that's sometimes you find people just there, secluded, alone in thoughts.
In thoughts.
Because they're thinking, wow.
What should we do next?
What should we do? I don't want to be in that position. It's devastating, it's draining, it's overwhelming. You be depressed the whole day.
Yeah.
Or the whole week. You can never find peace within
Peace within your heart.
Yes, yes. But of course, away from that, you know, my scariest thing actually, I fear water.
You fear water?
I fear water. Why? Because
you don't know how to swim.
the time I almost drowned. I almost drowned since then. Okay, from childhood. From childhood, when you have these mothers, well, I don't know water. So I've grown up with that thing of water. Even if it's the easiest
Of course, it becomes a trauma.
It becomes a trauma. Even me just going for boat crawls. Oh my God, I don't think. I'd rather walk around than going on water.
But you see, we are human beings, and we are not fish. God didn't give us gills.
I want to try.
We shouldn't. But does that really have to stress you out? Like, you know, I can't swim, I fear water. I don't think it.
You know, like, okay, me just being near water, I just have like thoughts in my head. Even with a life jacket on, I have thoughts in my head. Even with a team on, I have thoughts in my head already. Because I remember we had, you know, the trips you have of senior 4, of candidate classes. So I remember I went Kazinga Channel with my eyes closed. Until we were finished the whole, with my eyes closed.
So, imagine you are flying in a chopper, you live in Africa, you're heading to the US, and you have
I'm not afraid of heights, really.
There is an ocean down there. What is going to run in you?
Oh my
because
God.
you're crossing.
I would have a million
ocean.
Thoughts right about that.
And you see, with a plane, you can peep into the window. You can have just that it's on a very high altitude, but choppers at least can walk on a slightly low altitude. But down below is not a lake, it's not a river. It's a huge ocean with sharks and whales. How would you think about that?
Why are you scaring me right now? That's. But anyway, no, just terrified, just the thought of drowning and all, because I had that experience.
The drowning experience.
Because I felt like I was losing it.
Yeah.
At some point, you realize when you're drowning, you feel like. And when you come back, you're like, I
survived this.
I survived this. I wouldn't want to be in that position anyway. But of course, just to overcome your fear, you have to face them.
You have to face your fears.
Face them. Okay.
But what does it mean to face your fear? Maybe that is something which
by the way.
What does it mean to face your fears?
I mean, risking. You risk.
So, if you fear water, you go to be near the water.
No, you be near the water.
What if it torments you the more? Okay, if somebody tells you first pain, physical pain. Can physical pain be first and you overcome it?
Oh, it's just that maybe you get a time and get used to it. That's the thing about it. If I lived near water, I would get used to it. I'd begin with a one toe in. Eventually, my leg would go in, and eventually the whole body, because I'm now used to it. I'm used to it. I see people go in, and I feel I'm like, oh, definitely, maybe I could try it. So if you're no, those ones for physical pain, I don't know really. That's too much. Why would you want physical pain, really?
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, people,
unless you have anger issues, and they usually give therapy, the rubber bands, and they have to. And every time they're angry or something, they play around with the rubber. Instead of hitting something, you just So. I mean, just try out something you feel like maybe you may be scared to do over the weekend. If you're an introvert, you could talk to people. You could go to a social gathering and talk to people.
But let me talk about something here. I don't know why. There is a song that says that the worst place a human being can be is a place without a purpose. Many people don't fear that thing about purpose. People don't fear to live a life without purpose. They don't fear.
We don't
I mean,
know
it seems normal, like you live your life. I mean, you see, you live a life and all you understand is wake up, go to work, give birth, have a family. And trust me, the reason that's why frustrations come in life, because I don't care whether you have a 6-figure salary or you have a bit, anything, but if everything you do, if somebody told you, okay, with everything you do, what are you aiming? Okay, even though you're not pursuing a God-given purpose, but at least have something you have in mind to, you feel like, okay, I think I should achieve this. And purpose is in most cases not about you.
It's about someone else.
It's about other people. It's about the people, because you served humanity. I have a friend of mine. He happened to be in, he got exposed to this aspect of African spiritualism and all that. It's a good friend of mine. We talk. Now, it's not how you think. When we talk about African spirituality, what people think about is witch doctors. No. Yeah, he was more of. He believes in the people called the Kemetics. The Kemetics, they breast oil from Egypt, the Osas, the Ra, and all that. But the deeper he went into these things, he reached a point, and he told me, he has a business. He deals with stationery. He makes people work. I mean, he does really good work, and people reach out for him. But he reached a point, he told me, what, Andrew, I feel like time for this business is done. The business was doing for stationery, and so I told him, what do you want to do? Then he told me, I want to start up a school of African spiritualism that teaches people African spiritualism. Now, me, I was so moved. I was like, oh my goodness. Now this is what I feel. He was like, I feel like people need to know these things. I need to pass on what I have to people, to the coming generations, and all that. And to me, in that way, that was purpose.
Yeah, that is definitely purpose.
Because ask yourself this question. You wake up every day, you come to work, sign out, sign in, sign out. At any workplace, you could be an accountant, you could be a banker. But at the end of the day, if somebody told you about the end of your life, what do you see? Who are you really? You can't even say who you are, because all you know is wake up, get money. And by the way, with such a lifestyle, that's why people are depressed. Show me a person who is in purpose. I'll show you somebody who can live long. Because it's clear in Proverbs that the reason that's why bones grow old fast is because of depression and hatred, frustration. But all those come because you're living a life you don't know who you are. That is what we call the day you understand why you were born. One of the most important days. And I always pray. That is the best thing that can ever happen to any person. Knowing really, it seems normal when you talk about it, but once you get to experience the reality of purpose, it's great. Of course, that doesn't mean you will feel discouraged. The discouragements will come because there are always things that will come to work against you to prove you, because you have to be tested whether you are really worthy that what you're pursuing. But the bigger picture is in here that serving humanity, because if you're a business person and you think about this multi-billionaire business, are you thinking about growing your personal empire, or you're thinking about increasing people's incomes also so that they can also afford better housing facilities, better health services? So now that is purpose aligned, and trust me, such a person, you'll always God will always provide a way for you to make it work out, because it's not for selfish reasons. But if I may ask us, majority of the things we do, it's about we. That's the truth, but it's not right.
No, actually, maybe if you have a family, that's when you
no, you may not have a family, but the fact that
before even you have it, you have to know your purpose.
Okay. Yeah, but humanity is your first family.
Oh, so if you don't treat
humanity, you don't need to have okay, what is blood? The fact that we are both black, that means we come from, we have this, that should be enough to tell you that we have the same blood.
Okay.
I don't know about the white race, but anyway, they're all humanity. It's not about being racism.
Okay.
It's all about being one. But the question is, just know, we are scattered everywhere. The black seed, it was one seed that gave birth to the black race. It's the same seed. So meaning the people around you are part of you. It's your family. But it's a deception we've lived in for long. But anyway, the bigger picture is that purpose of making people's lives better, I mean, it should hurt you when you see somebody not be able to get a service you're getting. Now that's where purpose, you're now starting to live a life of purpose. And in that perspective, that means when you have that in you, if you feel that around you, that means you're going to be moved to do something about it.
How about this aspect where people are like, I'm doing good and I'm not getting anything out of it. People are not appreciating. How about that? I'm doing good. People are not appreciating. I mean, I never get help.
No, that person is doing things to please people. That's not purpose.
It's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Purpose, I'm not moved. If I do something for you and you're happy, I'm not going to be moved because you said thank you. Even though you don't say thank you. There is a preacher I love, T.D. Jakes. Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yes, I know.
He said he went to a shop, a supermarket, one day, and he described the kinds of people he met. He said there is where he went, and people were like, oh my goodness, you're a very great preacher, you've changed our lives. And it was like, wow, God is great. Then he moves along the street, he meets other people saying, you're a fake preacher, you're not right, what? But you see, as he was concluding the conversation, he said, none of those two opinions moved me. Even when they said I'm good, I'm impacting them, it didn't move me. And that means if they said that I'm fake, it could either not move me, I'm being me. Whether you're happy about me, whether you're not happy about me, I'm simply being me. So, if I'm serving my community, I'm not serving you with expecting anything. Actually, the best place to serve somebody, and if be an entrepreneur or what, give without expecting. If somebody responds to your giving, let it be a surprise to you. But don't be there, I'm expecting. You'll get frustrated because we are dealing with human beings.
So the expectations have to be low.
My spiritual father normally says whenever he meets is with people, he has already positioned it in his heart to be disappointed. Because he knows, such that when the disappointment comes, he's not moved and he's not going to hate you. Now that's where the true spirit of love is not a feeling. Actually, love is a skill.
Okay.
It is not a feeling. Otherwise, it was a feeling. I can wake up and I don't feel like I want to talk to you. But I can talk to you because of love. It's not, I don't have to feel it. So, this is the mindset. If you do business with such a mindset, trust me,
I
You-
remember
you will go.
someone actually yesterday was telling me, he's an architect, and he was telling me he actually bust his brains out on a certain project. And of course, he never got the money, but he was walking around and someone told him that constructed the structure, the very structure he designed, and he looked at it.
He
in
looked at
his
it
heart-
and he couldn't believe that it's.
No, like in the pride.
He felt good.
He at that point was like, just seeing that, I think the money, this is me there. This is me. Wow. You know, so at that point he was like, you know, what was the money for? You know, I've done something. At least I know it's mine.
It's mine.
Though I never got paid for it, I know it's mine. I know when I look at it, I
is
move
mine.
with pride.
Yeah.
This is mine. This is my creation. This is me on paper.
Yeah.
This is the product of it. So that is what it means to have passion
Passion.
for something, looking at something and you feel proud, regardless of whether you got appreciated or not.
Exactly. Now, that's a place of death to self. You die to self. And now, once you reach that place, you'll do mighty exploits. You don't care about what somebody says.
Yeah.
But as long as you know you're onto the right thing and you're not hurting anybody, let people choose to hate you because they want to hate you.
Yeah.
But don't hate them. All right. Very interesting discussion in here. Now it's 21 minutes past 8. Now let's take a look at what's really trending out there as we head into our social media trends.
Well, of course, this is at Princeton, and he says new composition of BRICS will control the 80% of the world oil production, and of course, with the addition of Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and
By the way, do you know
Iran.
a disclaimer on that? I mean, just to add on what you're saying, you know, when you see the BRICS controlling that percentage, you know, they're saying the end times communism will be the key.
Yeah,
So do you believe we're in the end times?
we are. We've been in the end times for quite some years now.
No, but this is real. It's not quite years. Look at.
I'm seeing the green right there. Wow. Oh, discovering still the same, and the same goes to the sharp GDP growth in the new BRICS countries. It will amount to 30% of the world's, and exceed 30 trillion dollars.
$30 trillion.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is actually what. And this is Narendra Modi, and he says, I had a wonderful meeting with the President Ibrahim Rais, and I'm glad that Iran will be joining BRICS. Discussed ways to deepen trade and cultural cooperations between the two, the Indian and it's the great nations that are actually joining in: Saudi Arabia, UAE, and.
But I think any country that is free, that is, it's an open trade. I don't think they restrict countries, whether you're great, whether you're not great. I would think that.
No. But of course they have to pick. Of course they have.
Of course, no. Of course we have to have the leader.
And of course,
the leaders
Egypt
of the
is,
BRICS.
Egypt is BRICS will now accept Ethiopia. We're having Africa, two more African countries with their new members: Argentina, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt also joining. That makes it 3 including South Africa.
So does it mean when Egypt comes in, the name will change from BRICS to BRICS?
No, we have many. I don't know what the name is going to be.
The
Maybe
BRICS,
they may
no.
change to a community. I don't know.
No, actually, no. It's like this. It's they just have. Those are the flag bearers.
Oh yeah.
Those nations,
Okay.
but these are other nations to come in.
Yeah.
Any coalition needs now, like the Western world. Lately, the U.S. is at the front.
Now this says India became the first country to land on the south part of China, and of course Prime Minister Modi told this historic milestone to South Africa, President Ramaphosa at BRICS summit, and of course what is that? Is he laughing? And of course Modi suddenly realized it's south pole of moon. It looks like he has something about China in his mind.
So Ramaphosa, remember, recently on talks to establish relations with China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is the first phase of the BRICS expansion in 2024, and we are having Saudi Arabia GDP of 833.5 billion US dollars. Then we have Argentina, the GDP of 487.2 billion dollars, and we have United Arab Emirates at 415 billion dollars. And we have Egypt at $404.1 billion. Then Iran with $359.7 billion. And finally, Ethiopia with $101.3 billion. That is the GDP of the new entrants, those that are coming in to join the BRICS. Woo! Wow.
Yeah, it's quite...
Six more joining in. 6 more joining in, right?
Yeah, of course, the BRICS are going to lead quite a huge coalition in there. So I don't know what the Western world is really looking up to that.
You can see in Africa, we have Egypt, we have Ethiopia, and then we have, is Argentina? No, Argentina, I don't think Argentina is in Africa. Then we have, there are 3 just representatives in Africa: Egypt, South Africa, and of course Ethiopia. And then the other bloc, the Arab Emirates, then we have Saudi Arabia and Iran. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. And majority of these countries have something in common that they do. They do mine
Look at
oil.
the green space right there.
All that green space,
It covers
yeah.
almost a huge percentage.
Yes. It's like taking. It has taken off. It has taken the biggest percentage of the world, according to the look of things.
Now the 6 members that are in top largest oil producing countries in the world, we have the United States with 20%. We have Saudi Arabia, which is going to join the BRICS with 17%. Then Russia 10%, Canada 6%, China 4.5%. Iran 4%, then Arab Emirates with 3.5%, Brazil 3%, and 3% for Iran. So you see, when they total up, wow, it's going to be a huge,
very huge
flow of oil. Wow.
It's a huge.
If those
it's a huge block. They literally are taking over a big percentage of the world, and they're growing every other day. Many nations feel like they want to be a part of this.
The BRICS are now representing 41% of the world oil production.
41%. Actually, that's what I was. Isn't that what I told you? That majority are into oil exploration, minerals.
Wow.
I mean, they explore, and what does that really mean?
Now, the reason why Nigeria is the so-called giant of Africa is not. The reason is not part of the BRICS because their involvement with the West against the interests of the poor masses. Imagine Nigeria got government-led gas.
Yeah, because there is belief that capitalism has been exploitative, and you see with communism, they believe that resources should be shared by the society. Yeah, though deep within that, it communicates that some people say there is a big evil in communism still. Because that will birth what we call dictatorship. Because with communism, at least when people have a say, it's some sort of a say in terms of policy and all that. It can kind of regulate the dictatorial policies. But now, this time around, it's entirely the state in control. What do you mean it's going to be? Well, that is it for this session. Exactly 2 minutes to 8:30. And now let's take a short break. I shall be returning, of course, with business, entertainment, and sports. Stick around.